Hello there, grade 4. For today, we are going to do factors and multiples. Okay, we're going to do factors and multiples. Okay, in this case, it is quite important for us to be knowledgeable of our multiplication table. If not, you're going to have a hard time with this. Okay, so we'll start with factors first. Okay, what are factors? Factors are two numbers that if you are going to multiply them, will give you a product such as, let's say, 12. Okay. What two numbers are you going to multiply that will give you 12? The easiest way to determine one or to give us one is by simply getting the number itself, 12 and 1. 12 times 1 is 12. So we can say that this 12 and this one are factors of 12. Okay? 12 and 1 are factors of 12. Okay, and if you observe, there are more factors pa. We can get more factors out of 12. Okay, so let me just erase this part. What other numbers or what other factors do we have that will give you 12? You have 2 and 6. Okay, again, dapat kasi nga kailangan talaga dito that you are good or you have mastered your multiplication table. If not, then you might have a hard time with this one. Another one that will give you 12 is 3 and 4. Okay? So, other than that, wala na. Let's just get the factors. Okay? We have 2, 3, 4, and 6. So, we can now say, starting from the smallest value, we can now say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12 are factors of 12. Okay? As easy as that. Okay, another example. Let's try to find factors of 17. Okay, try to think of factors of 17. Again, to start with, it's better if we start with the number itself and 1. 7 times 1 will give you 17. Okay, try to find other factors of 17. Okay, sige, think. 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 Okay, so I hope that by now you have realized that there's none. There are no more other factors that will give you 17. Okay? So if you observe, let me just erase this. We can now say that 1 and 17 are factors of 17. And if you observe, we only have 1, 2. We have one set of factors, which is this one set, to a total of 2 factors. Okay, we have 2 factors for 17. While for 12, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factors. Okay, we have 6 factors. Okay, for 12, like I'll just write it here. 12 has 6 factors. Or we can say 3 sets. 3 pairs rather. Okay, let me just fix that. 3 pairs. While 17 has two factors or one pair. Okay? So, this is an additional information. Numbers with more than two factors, more than two, okay? With more than two factors, they are called composite numbers. Okay? With more than two factors, they are called composite numbers. So we are talking about numbers with more than two factors. They are called composite numbers. While for a number with only two factors or one pair, they are called prime numbers. Okay, please take note of that because these are basic information that you can get in mathematics. So we have prime numbers and composite numbers, okay? Okay, let's try to take factors of two numbers. Let's say we have 20 and 16. To start with 20, we have 20 and 1, okay? Then we have 5 and 4. Whatever you can think. Ano pa yung mga maiisip ninyo? We have 2 and 10. Okay, meron pa bang factors ang 20? Aside from those numbers? 1 times 20, 5 times 4, 2 times 10. If there are any other numbers, think along. If there is none, then you can stop from there. The problem is here, you really need to make sure that there's no more. Okay? Kasi if there's still no, so you will be missing some points. Not actually, oh yes, technically, you'll be missing some points. Okay. How about for 16? We can start with 16 and 1. You can try 8 and 2. And we also have 4 times 4. Are there any other numbers pa that we can add with 16? You should be able to find more. Good. If wala, it depends kasi if there's none, so ibig sabihin wala na talaga. Okay? So, since there's none, also with 20, kasi wala naman talaga ang 20 at saka ang 16, that's it. Okay, from here, let's try to gather the information that we were able to collect. All you have to do is to line up all the factors of 20. It's better if you do it from smallest to biggest in ascending order. We have 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. Okay? And for 16, we have 1, 2, 4. In this case, since we have two 4s, you don't have to write 4 and 4 again. Okay? You only have to write ones. If there are two numbers in one number, for example, for 16, if there are two factors of a certain number, which is in this case is 4 and 4, for the number 16, you don't get to write the 4 twice. Just write it once, that's it. Okay? And you have 8, then 16. Ganun lang. Okay. Now, let's try to find what they have in common. What do we mean by common? Common means the same. No space there. I'm gonna take that back. The same. What numbers do they have the same, or what factors do they have in common? Okay. So, 12 and 16, let's try to identify what common factors they have. I'll try to encircle both on the other end. We have 1 and 1. We have 2 and 2. We have 4 and 4. Do you have any other common numbers? Ang 5 ba? Can you see 5 here? There's none. Do you see any 10 here? There's none. Do you see any 20 here? There's none. Along with 16, do you see any 16 there? There's none. Any 8? There's none. So it is safe to say now that we have common factors for 16 and 20. Okay? And we can say from here that the common factors of 16 and 20 are 1, are 1, 2, and 4. Okay, we can write that down. The common factors of 20 and 16 are 1, 2, and 4. So that is how you basically deal with factors and common factors. Okay. Now let's try to deal with multiples. Kasi tapos na tayo sa factors, let's try multiples. Okay. So I have to write that down again. We're done with factors. Now we are going to deal with multiples. Multiples are a lot easier compared to factors because yun nga lang, sa multiples, you have to master your multiplication table. Even more. Why? Because multiples are basically just like skip counting. They're like skip counting lang. Okay? Multiples are like skip counting. So for example, technically we have limited numbers. I mean unlimited numbers. Okay? So from parang to infinity, if I'm gonna ask you what are the multiples of 7, or let's say multiples of 4. Let's say what are the multiples of 4? If that is the question, technically it's endless. You'll start with 4, then 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and so on until you reach infinity. Okay, medyo malaki ang numbers natin. Okay. So the better question would be, what are, oops, sorry about that. What are the first 5 multiples of 4? Okay, first 5 daw. So all you have to do is to prepare 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and skip count starting from 4. So we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. That's how you deal with multiples. Okay, you start with the given number first. Okay, so ano pa ba? Pwede rin, what is the 7th, oops, sorry again, parating nagtatypo si Teacher Mark. What is the 7th multiple of 6? It's technically 7th multiple. So we have the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th. Okay, that's an ordinal. So starting with 6, we have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, and then we now have 42. So we can now say that 42 is the 7th multiple of 6. Oops, what question mark? Ano ba yan si teacher? What's happening with Teacher Mark? Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway. So, ganun lang. Or a shortcut. For example, what is the 7th multiple of 8? So, all you have to do is just to take the number from the ordinal 7. Okay? 7th is 7. multiplied to 6, shortcut, 42. Okay? Ganun lang. Now, let's try to find another number. Or let's say we already gave numbers na pala kanina, no? We have 4 and 6. Okay. There are questions kanina sa LC sa ano pa to sa factors, we have common factors. Dito naman sa multiples, we also have common multiples. But if I'm gonna ask you what are the multiples of 4 and 6, that will be the same as what I've said earlier. It will be endless. Okay? Let's say what are the common multiples rather, sorry. The common multiples of 4 and 6. If the question is raised this way, it will technically be endless again. Because you need to find the multiples, the common multiples of 4 and 6 until you reach the infinity. Kung mararating ninyo ang infinity. That's the question there. So the better question could be or should be, what are, or isa lang muna. Let's try one first. What is the first common multiple of 4 and 6? What is the first common multiple of 4 and 6? So all you have to do again, line them up lang. We have 4 and 6. I'll write smaller para makasya natin. We have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Ano ba yan? What is wrong with the Jamar, my dear kids? We have 28, 32, relax lang, relax. 36, we have 40. Let's stop there. 4, 6 naman. We have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. We have 42, 48. We have 54 and 60. Okay. I hope I did not make any errors there, else it will be a little shameful for me. Just kidding. Okay, anyway. So, what is the first? First lang daw, first. So, what's the first common multiple of 4 and 6? Let's start. 4, 6, 8, 2. So, if you notice, the first thing that would cross is 12. Okay? So, for that question, we can say that the first common multiple of 4 and 6 is 12. Okay? Now, what if the question will be like, what are the first two common multiple of 4 and 6? What are the first two common multiples of 4 and 6? Okay. We already have the first. All you have to do now is to find the second. Meron tayong 16, 18, 20, 24. Oops. 24. So, meron tayong 24. Okay? So, we can now say that the first two common multiples of 4 and 6 are 12 and 24. Okay, so that's how pretty much you deal with factors and multiples and their common factors and common multiples. Okay, so that's it. You can answer the rest of the pages for the week.